You could argue some of the things that you were talking about got better, just getting better shots for guys, handling doubles on Luka. But was any of that lost with Milwaukee being able to hit their threes like they did, and then while you're trying to take away the rim?
No, it was a different loss than the other night in Brooklyn. I thought our competitive level was really high. I think overall, it was a tough matchup if we're not at full strength. That's just reality. And I think particularly on the defensive end, our execution of the details, whether it was, our strongs versus Lillard and then not stronging him and allowing him to get to his left hand. I thought our greens were really bad in the post with Giannis, and our rotations out of that were really bad. But, in terms of the guys, the connectedness, the spirit, competitiveness, it was there tonight.
You had talked before the game about Luka and Austin, and obviously both of them got going. What did you see from them offensively tonight?
Yeah, I think Luka looked very comfortable, regardless of the coverages they gave him. And a couple of those turnovers when they blitzed him weren't necessarily his fault, to be honest with you. Again, it goes just back to some execution things and playing lineups we haven't played, and then some of the turnovers were, I think he gets a tough whistle. That's a fact. And then AR, I thought was great all night, and I think sometimes with him, the tendency to want to get going early, particularly with Bron out, is there, and didn't score a ton early, but then really got it going from the second quarter on, and was fantastic offensively.
JJ, I don't remember if it was after Boston or Brooklyn, but you said something along the lines of like, while we're not full, we just we have to defend and just play incredibly hard. Yeah. I know you said the competition level was better in your group tonight, but did you see kind of like just sort of the realization that how tough of a matchup was? Did you see it kind of dispirit your guys a little bit? Did it feel like you guys were flying around the same way?
I mean, even AR, AR in the fourth quarter, it was like a 21-point game, and Luka was at the line. He's like, we've been here before. We were here, same situation last year, and we won. Like, I think the guys were good with that. Again, Dame wants to go left. We let him get left a lot. We didn't execute at a high level, and frankly, when you're missing guys, you have to play hard, but you also have to execute. The play hard, play smart. It was the favorite slogan of Billy Hicks at Cave Spring High School. Play hard, play smart. You got to do both. And we played hard. I don't think we played smart defensively. And again, playing a lot of lineups we haven't played all year without practicing together. It's going to happen. Your hope is that with the schedule coming up, you get guys back, obviously, but you hope you can correct some of that in film.
You mentioned that not all of Luka's turnovers were his fault. You mentioned, maybe not executing the best, getting a tough whistle, but I think this is his 6th or 7th game in a row having at least 5 turnovers. A couple of games ago, you mentioned the range that you would prefer him and LeBron stay within. Are you seeing any commonalities in terms of, I guess, how those turnovers are coming for him specifically?
Yeah, I don't know the exact PPP, but I know that we've been pretty good against the shock or the blitz. Relative to some of the other coverages, so I think we've gotten good looks out of that, and some of the turnovers are out of that. But that's natural if you're going to get double teamed sometimes. Again, it goes back to like they are going to put 2 on the ball, and there's one guy on the weak side. Well, the top guy has to pull behind and get to the top of the key, and that's something I'd love to have a bunch of offensive breakdown segments in a practice to get that in, because it's right there. We see it on tape. We watch it at halftime. It's there, and I know Luka's a willing passer, so we'll be able to do that eventually.
And then a last quick one for me. Is everyone who was available tonight expected to be available for tomorrow in Denver?
the expectation is, but again, I don't know how these guys are doing after this game, and I frankly have no idea how they're.
Milwaukee credit because they came ready to play.
And to be fair, 3 Laker starters out.
Yeah.
So that changes the whole. I mean, you had guys playing tonight that you just won't see playing come playoff.
3 starters,
3 or 4
starters
guys that
out.
won't touch the court.
3 starters out, and then you're asking Vanderbilt and Finney Smith to guard bigs.
Yeah.
Okay, so that kind of takes away from what they do: steals, deflections, and being all over the court when they got to go down there and deal with Lopez and Giannis. So it was difficult. You kind of ran out of men, really, to kind of compete with all the things that they had going. They had bigs from the outside. They had the 3-pointers going in the first half. It was a game that when you looked at the calendar, you might say might be tough.
Yeah.
But you're right. The Brooklyn game is the one game I wish they could have got that one.
Yeah.
Because going into the Den back-to-back to Milwaukee and Denver without, a full tank of gas, it's tough.
It's going to be tough.
Yeah, there's really no way to sugarcoat it. We said on the pregame show, Lakers have the 3rd hardest schedule remaining in the NBA. And so you can't say, this is going to be good. They're going to finish 2nd. They're going to really have to earn it. And that starts with really getting healthy.
That's the key to everything,
That's
guys.
the key. That's it.
Doesn't matter who you play.
If they're healthy, of course they beat Brooklyn the other night. They barely lost that game with 4 guys on the sidelines. Tonight, tougher game, obviously. Milwaukee playing better, but still, you got LeBron here in LA, Jackson Hayes here in LA. You got about 40-plus points, not even close to the state of Wisconsin
Rui.
tonight.
Yeah.
Rui, of course, thank you. I mean, it's too much offense missing from the game tonight and tomorrow night, and who knows how much longer. It's frustrating if you're a Laker fan. Probably the coaching staff is trying to move some X's and O's around. Alex Len started again tonight. Maybe Koloko gets the start tomorrow. We'll have to see.
Yeah, I mean, big picture for Laker fans is you just have to be patient.
Yeah.
I know it's tough. A week ago, you're looking at being one of the top teams in the league. You lose a few in a row. One to Brooklyn, kind of has a bad taste in your mouth. You get rolled up tonight. I mean, that's just part of the NBA. It's part of what's going on. Lakers, when they get healthy, we have seen what they can be when healthy. They did it over a 3-month span.
Yes.
So this is not, so you just have to ride it out. It's not easy, but they got to find a way to get some wins. And as Brett said, man, you're getting into the hurricane right now with that tough stretch of games. But bright spot, Luka.
Oh, yeah.
Had that game tonight, big game that I think you'd love to see on the big stage. 45 points. His 45-10 game that he had 10 rebounds also. He's done it 22 times. That's top 23 all time in history, right? He's tied with Patrick Ewing. He's only 26 years old and he's a guard. He's already done that 22 times. So he had a special night offensively, 45. But that was good to see for me, just to see Luka he looked good. He had all his swag going too.
Yeah, I mean, look.
Kind of get to any spot he wanted to.
When you think about what the Lakers have done to get to the 2nd place in the West, okay, now they got injuries. So you know they can get there. If they were healthy, they might can stay there. So with Luka coming on like he's coming on, hopefully with LeBron will get the rest he needs, then he'll come back. Rui, get everybody back. They might slip down a little bit, but they know where they can play.
Exactly.
And so when you got that seed in your head, you say, okay, had we not been injured, we would be here. So let's play like we were playing when we were in 2nd place. I think if they can get back to that, with Luka starting to emerge and get in better shape and start to knock down shots, they still can compete.
Yeah.
They just might have to compete maybe now out of the 4th or 5th